Hi guys! It's been forever since I've talked to you. It is currently the end of August and everything that you're about to see is from May. So, I had put up a poll and asked you guys if you wanted to see all the past footage from my May TBR, and the majority of you guys said that you wanted to see it, so we're gonna go ahead and put it up. Did want to disclaim though, if you'll think back a couple months ago, was at the time that I was doing 5 a.m. reading shorts and 6 a.m. reading sprints. And so a lot of the time when I would talk about the books was in those forms of content. And I really didn't do that great of a job vlogging, and it, in my opinion, shows. Other disclaimer, you can tell I was just so tired and kind of burning out. This is when my reading slump happened or when it started, because you can just tell that my energy level is not there. But you guys said you wanted to see the footage, so I'm just gonna put it all together, edit it down, see what it turns out like, and I hope that you guys enjoy. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. I just finished this book. Kind of a weird way to start talking to you, but I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars, might give it 4, not sure. I really enjoyed the environment and the writing style of this book, and the story was very emotional. I did tab a bit. Looking at the tabs alone, I think it's in the 3-star range, because this is typically what my 3-star books tend to look like when I tab them. I think it's going to be 3.5 stars. I really did enjoy the atmosphere, environment, the way that the place was described. Some of the characters you really hate. And for me, some of them, I was rooting for them, but I wasn't loving them. I don't know how to explain that. It wasn't like I was just, obsessed with the characters. I cared. I don't know. There was, a mother and daughter duo. I'm not going to say any more than that I was, rooting for. But other than that, it wasn't really, I cared that much about the characters, which makes me feel terrible, but plot was good. Overall, I think this is a good book, but I think 3.5 stars is appropriate for my enjoyment level of this book. I do recommend it, and I'm really glad that I finished it. This is one of those also. I will say that it's long and it can be slow at times, but the emotional payoff is worth it, I think. Those points where you're really connecting with the story and it just hits. There were some moments of that in this book. Not all the time. It didn't have an ending that made me cry or anything. I didn't record my reaction, but overall it was good. I actually do think at some point I could reread this, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it for a while. So hopefully I'll enjoy this. I'm nervous. This is one that I had picked up at a little free library that intrigued me, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. It's like a dystopian kind of situation where this woman's blood holds the what's it called? The antibodies for this crisis that's going on, and the government wants her, basically. So she's trying to get away and find a new way to save all the people going through this crisis before they find her. So that's what's going on in this book. We'll see what happens. I will start that tomorrow if I do reading sprints. I don't know if I'm gonna do my reading sprints tomorrow. I'm leaning toward yes right now, but if I'm just super exhausted, I might just hold off till Monday, but still read that. Anyway, I'll talk to you the next time that I am reading. Okay, so I ended up DNFing this. There's so much language, crass comments, and it honestly just did not have my attention. I feel like it would be interesting without all the nonsense, but maybe not, because I really wasn't that engaged with it. I don't know. but I'm DNFing it. So let's choose the next. Here are 4 books. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the shortest title by letter and shortest title by word and compare between the two and choose which one I want from there. So by letter, we've got Summer Island, which is 12 letters. The Turn of the Key is definitely more, so I'm not even gonna count that. This Close to Okay is, yeah, definitely more. And the 5-Star Weekend's definitely more. So this is an option. And then by words, actually by words, this one would be the shortest also. Would you count the hyphenation as one word? Because I would. That would be 3. But if I didn't count it, then it would be 4, which both of these are 4. This one's 5, so that's not an option. Sorry, it sounds like rambling, but so between these two, but this one's definitely the shorter title, so I'm gonna go with this one. Summer Island by Kristen Hanna. I could really use a Kristen Hanna book in my life at the moment, especially after this nonsense. Although their covers are very similar, that's weird. They're the same color scheme. Kind of cool. Summer Island is next. Yay! Also, was this what I was wearing the other day in this video? I'm sorry. I promise I've washed it since, but just apparently wearing the same clothes. Okay, I'm gonna go read now. Talked about this in my early morning reading sprints that this book is in the cover photo of, but I think I'm going to DNF this. This book, although the story itself is so moving and tugs at your heartstrings, I am interested in the storyline. I think it's very engaging, but there is so much language, and especially taking God's name in vain repeatedly in this book, that it just really takes away from the story for me. I personally feel like there's just no reason for that. Regardless of what you believe, that's just disrespectful and unnecessary, so it's just a no from me. I just can't focus on the book, which is so frustrating because I was really enjoying the story, but then I would get pulled out of it. Whatever. I'm finding though, I'm finding that I really enjoy Kristen Hanna's historical fiction, but this is the second, actually third, more modern day type story that I just have issues with. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I think I'm just gonna skip this one. I hate DNFing more books in my monthly TBR reading vlog, but it is what it is. So shocking, I know. The 5-Star Weekend. This is the one that I think I'm most likely to give 5 stars out of the remaining 3, which the other 2 are This Close to Okay and The Turn of the Key, which I've heard a lot of people give 5 stars, but I think I'm gonna enjoy this one the most. Fingers crossed I'm correct. We shall see. I'm nervous, but I really loved the Hotel Nantucket. I don't know if this like continues, but I know that it's also on Nantucket. Yeah, it's different characters, but it's all on the same, in the same area. But we'll see what I think of this. Just want to catch up for a second because I have been updating on my early morning reading sprints, but if you guys have missed that, that doesn't make for a very good vlog because that's the only place I've been updating. I'm enjoying this not as much as I enjoyed the Hotel Nantucket. I feel like that story was very much more like engaging, mysterious, action-packed, drama-filled, all the things. This one's a little bit deeper and goes into a little more of the personal issues or the issues of these middle-aged women's personal lives, and them just like working out friendship things and trying to get through difficult situations in life, which I feel like the Hotel Nantucket was a little bit more light-hearted. I mean, it was still a lot, but it wasn't quite as intense as this. I still like this. As for like open doorness, I don't remember there being any scenes except usually if I can see that something is headed that way, I'll skip over it. There has been a lot of talk about that though, so I just kind of have been skipping over that a lot. So I can't really tell you if it's super descriptive or not, but I have found myself skipping through a few paragraphs. One thing that I love though is there's not a ton of language in these books. The Hotel Nantucket and this one, there is some, but it's not like every other word, and it's not so distracting that it takes you out of the story. I really, really, really appreciate that, because to me, a good story can be told without using language, every other word. So just thought that I would throw that in there because I try to include that when I'm talking about books, and sometimes I just forget. But overall, enjoying this, making good progress. I'm literally so close to the end. But I wanted to make sure that I updated you guys, because if you haven't been seeing the early morning reading sprints, you wouldn't know when I've been thinking of these books, because I've barely been updating the vlog. So I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to stay focused. I don't know. The only time I've been really reading is in those early morning sprints, so that's why. But I'm currently trying to be intentional and get some reading done for the vlog for you guys. You're welcome. Okay guys, I don't know how much I've updated you because I've not been great at vlogging, because most of my reading, most of it, all of it, has been done on these early morning reading sprints, which I'm starting to question whether I want to continue. I haven't really gotten a whole lot else accomplished on my booktube. But anyway, the 5-star weekend, I think I'm gonna give like a 3.5 stars. I know I'm like the first person ever to do so, but I liked the Hotel Nantucket way better. It just was more like lighthearted, fun, funny. This was a lot more emotional and a lot more heavy. There's a lot of PC stuff that I didn't love, and is a common theme throughout any book that includes those tropes. I liked the story. I think that it's good and I would recommend reading it. It wasn't my favorite, like the Hotel Nantucket, which pleasantly surprised me so much. I highly recommend the Hotel Nantucket. But I have been getting into This Close to Okay, and it just took a really odd turn this morning. And now I kind of understand why I've heard nobody talk about this, because it's just like, I don't want to be spoilery at all, and I don't think that it really would. If you read the description, the synopsis, it kind of gives an indication that this could happen, but it's almost like this woman that finds the man who is standing on the edge of the bridge. She's like not even talking about like emotional feelings about him, but just like physical feelings. And it went from 0 to 150 in like 2 seconds, and it was really odd. And I just don't like when books do that, so I am very strongly probably gonna DNF this, which I hate to do, but, and then this little note here says good as the rating, which kind of gives me more reason to DNF, because it's like, okay, it's good, but maybe not excellent. I don't know. I'm just not really feeling like if I continue reading this, that would be the best use of my time. I could continue. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided. But I think I am just gonna get right into the Turn of the Key, which I've heard a lot of people love this book and some people not love it so much. So we'll see if this is gonna be fully read or DNF as well.